about the backpack around Europe thing. I know it's like, artists think it's fucking cliche, but to be honest with you, like those stories are always amazing to me. Like, how did you even come to the point where it was all right? I'm going off to do this.
I did the what are you rebelling against? What do you got thing, right? Again, a loving home with wonderful people who wanted nothing but the best for me, but I was like, I'm out of here.
Right.
So they, were like, how much money do you have? I'm like, $400. They're like, take this, like, completely supportive and all that stuff. And I got there, and I believe the second Tim Burton Batman movie was out, and I had to see it. So with what little money I had, I think I was in England at the time, and I went and saw it, and they had beer in the theater, and you could smoke cigarettes in the theater, and I made a day of it.
Right.
And then I was 18, so maybe 19, and I found cider, and I woke up in the park because I was an idiot and didn't know what drinking was, and found this Kool-Aid stuff that was delicious that had 14% or something. So I had woken up with no shoes, my money belt was gone, and there I was within my first couple of days, and I knew that I had to, because of the movie Highlander, go see Stonehenge. That was the main reason why I went, because of Highlander.
All right.
So I hitchhiked to Stonehenge, which I believed was in Scotland, because I also didn't bother looking it up.
Oh, that's hilarious.
So I'm in this.
When you rolled up to it on the highway, how was that?
Well, I hitchhiked and I was pointed towards Scotland, and the first person that picked me up, because hitchhiking at that time, I don't know what it's like now, was very simple.
Right.
And you know what I mean? The British Isles kind of fit in the Great Lakes, so it's a small area. So I get this ride into Scotland, and the guy's bringing me into Edinburgh. And
so you didn't fucking say to him,
no,
you just take me to Scotland.
Take me to Scotland. And then when we got to Edinburgh, I was like, which way is Stonehenge? And he's like, back that way, moron. So I, at that point, was like, well, now I'm screwed. I'm wearing shoes I found on the streets. I have like a chocolate bar and nothing else. And again, I still have months left there. So I just wandered out. I was like, oh, I'm going to go again, Highlander, the movie. So I'm going to go to the Highlands, and I literally just walked down a country road where I found a kid who broke his bike, and then I got him back to his farmhouse, and they rented a little bungalow on their 15th century farm property, and I ended up working for them for the entire summer. I didn't see any other parts of Europe. I lived on a Scottish farm. I helped raise goats. I built stone walls. Mr. Pennington, the guy, wonderful man. He looked like Santa Claus meets a linebacker. The guy was special forces, deep sea diver, very, very strict man, would get me up every day, kicking the door open. You know, your problem is, Rizok, you're a lazy piece. And I was killing it every day. Like every day was up before him, digging holes, doing that. Was never enough until, the day I left, and he was like, good job. And it was, oh my God. So, you know what I mean? It was, my experience was working my butt off on a farm, and it was absolutely wonderful. And I didn't see Paris, and I didn't go here, and I didn't go there. I mean, I did.
Did you ever see fucking Stonehenge?
I did. Okay. On my last week there, the Penningtons, who basically paid me in food and lodging.
Right.
And they ran a little hostel in this little farmhouse, and I ran the hostel. So I had people from Australia coming every day, and people from Canada, and people from all over the world. So I had a great experience meeting people, and then through that, and other fellow travelers, they were like, you're like 6 hours away from Stonehenge.
Right.
You could be there and back in the same day, basically. So I eventually, made my way to Mr. Pennington. Every week would give me like a fish or a chicken and a pack of tobacco and a bottle of whiskey, and that was my weekend, right?
Right.
That was my Sunday, because I had Sundays we didn't work. The first Sunday I got up and started digging, he came out, pushed me into the hole I was digging, told me, we don't work on Sundays, you heathen, now get back in there. And so it was great. And I ended up just hitchhiking there and coming back on the same day, and I saw some rocks and bought a t-shirt, and that was it.
That's funny. Do you still communicate with them?
The last time we had any communication, unfortunately, Mr. Pennington is no longer with us, but the family that's there, there's a Christmas card every now and again, but my father actually took my younger brother to Scotland on travel hockey. Well, my brother was about the same age I was at that time, so late high school. And he went and saw them.
Oh, that's cool.
And he went to, because it was in the East Nuke of Fife. And it was just this tiny little town, 1.5 mile walk into town. There was a pub, a grocery store, and a post office, and that was it.
Right.
A bunch of fishermen. And so there's only the one pub. So that's where I went when I could. When I had $3, I'd go have a pint there. I'd walk the 1.5 miles and walk back. And he went into the pub and sat down and said, "Hi, my name is George Rizok," which is my name, which is his name. And they were like, "No, you're not. George Rizok's a little skinny kid who always pukes in that corner over there." And my dad just laughed and bought a round. And I mean, he hasn't drank in 40 plus years, but he had a great time and hung out with everybody. They went and saw him at the farm, and they were all doing well and had a good laugh about